head fucked. Yeah. New born J-Lo back in the booth, man. I'm here with my nigga AD. My nigga Smooth, man. AD on the beat, man. Some other town niggas on the block. My nigga TD, D-Stone, J-Rock, Lil Danger, RPHD, man.
Hello, what's going on, chat? And I'm back with another. You feel me? We gonna go on and get into this content mode. I'm trying to do shit different. Y'all like I did that little sound shit. I mean, yeah, man, I'm learning all this shit, man. Hold on. We're going to get into this content more. Yeah, chat. My boy DJ AKADEMIKS really keeping it real. And I'm going to be honest, I seen probably about probably not even 5 minutes of it. It's a 30-minute video. We going to react to it. You know, I'm going to try to keep the profanity at a good level. I'm going to try my best not to cuss. But yeah, we're going to get into this. And yeah, man, see what AKADEMIKS talking about with Lil Durk. Because, you know, the first little 3 minutes, it was very interesting. He was keeping it real from my perspective. So let's go on and get into this.
Total. Yo, what Durk is realizing, Durk is a great soldier, but nobody looked at him like a leader. Durk was willing to move on behalf of the people he's loyal to when they get locked up. When he locked up, they might drop him as a bar in a song, but half of the niggas that Durk fuck with, they trying to link with YoungBoy right now. So they ain't even trying to acknowledge they trying to link.
What? What? See? I ain't gonna lie, like I told y'all, you feel me, I already had watched like 3 minutes of it, so yeah, as y'all can see, this is what's going on.
Like with YoungBoy, their music career drying up, they're like, damn. See that? Well, the heat over there with YB, he's popping.
Definitely
Best
popping.
Best of 2025.
Definitely.
Yo, you about to drop some other shit. You know everybody saying? Yo, let's try to see if they could be cool. Like, hold on, these niggas been beefing since 2020. This is how the industry's going. They've been beefing since 2020. A nigga died in 2020. That's King Von. There was nobody when YoungBoy was being blackballed saying, nah, I think I should piece it up. Let's see what YoungBoy thinks about this. Hell no. Durk go to jail, he's useless to everybody who's out.
That's how they do you. You feel me? I ain't never did a hard time, chat. But I got friends that have, and feel me? It be out of sight, out of mind, bro. You feel me? Like, for real.
Let's see if we could broker a truce. Yo, this shit's crazy. Anyway, I mean, we could get into it now. Should we? I guess we should. So Lil Durk is going through it, y'all. Now, he's been reportedly now been in solitary confinement since August 29, and he was there without a formal disciplinary hearing. Now, it was alleged that he had like a Apple Watch in jail and this and third, and I think people think that that's probably why he was, you know, kind of isolated. And so according to court filings, he's been on a 23-hour lockdown a day, no commissary, and one phone call per month. No in-person visitation. They're actually having a hearing tomorrow to talk about this. Okay? I feel bad for Schmirk.
Definitely.
Because I think, you know, he a Chicago dude. and I'm not accusing other people of not being real in the music business, because I think there's a lot of real niggas in there. But they know at what point to stop playing the real nigga card. I think Dirk thought that the real nigga, like, card was going to last longer than it did. Because as soon as he got locked up, I could tell all of his friends was like, this nigga's stupid. He actually really put a hit on a nigga and killed him. What the fuck? We just be rapping. He doing it. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is this nigga dumb? I think let me tell you, Dirk, I'm gonna give you the grim reality, man. I don't care who he did a collab with. Listen, you gotta look at what we've seen in the last 90 days when it comes to rappers, street rappers, everything. Brother, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the niggas you went on tour with, did songs with, niggas called you they brother, they twin. I wouldn't be surprised if these rap niggas try to fuck India, my nigga. These niggas going dirty. And I think this is what I think.
But facts though, bro. Facts. I can't even lie. I know y'all really don't be messing with Act, but he do be keeping it real. Like, boy, ninjas be grimy. That's what I do know. Let me give Ack a round of applause for that. Let's get back into this.
I think Dirk right now is thinking that, man, I thought I was just with a whole bunch of real niggas.
Once you go down, you'll find out.
You weren't. And I feel bad for Dirk. It's interesting because I've seen fans, today he galvanizes fans. I'm going to show you what he posted. But a lot of people said, oh, man, we haven't seen it. Chat, to put the shirt on tonight, I had to take it out to wash. You know what that means. I've been wearing it at least every week or 2 weeks or so. All the time. I wore this in the airport.
Look, real dude.
Not really to cast any aspersion on the particular case, but, I like Dirk's music. And I hope he makes it out of the situation.
Real talk. Free Dirk. Free
What
Dirk.
I noticed is that when King Slime got locked up, there was a whole parade. Freedom! Freedom! Oh, nah. Everybody would post details of the case. How is this humane? How could they do this? Yo, free... not smart. No, free Slime. Dirk got locked up. They might give that nigga half a bar. Free Smirk. That's fact.
Facts.
It is what it is. Now, I'll give credit. I have heard some of these guys have said lawyers, good for that, but Smirk is in there, man, realizing the world don't stop spinning because you locked up. And the niggas you called your brothers, they will move on and find another brother. By the way, y'all gonna get mad at this. Listen, I realize my role in the industry. Y'all gonna get mad at everything I say, but quietly I say to yourself,
What you about to say? Don't say no crazy shit. You told me we about to get mad at you. Excuse my language, you too. My bad. I mean no crazy stuff. Please act. I'm trying to put this on my channel.
you know what? Y'all don't like this fuck nigga, but you're low-key, you kind of spit. You're right. Yo, the industry done traded Dirk for Herbo. Herbo's the new Dirk. All of the niggas jumped. All of the fake niggas that was like, yo, besties, they with Herbo now. Facts. Straight up. Keep it a beat. Just to show you that they never really give a fuck. Keep it a beat. I never seen Herbo this cool with niggas. Never. But shut your fat ass up, you drunk talking shit. They don't like the truth.
I had to press boo, y'all. You know why? Because I'm booing them ninjas. Because, hey, literally, he's speaking facts, bro. He is speaking facts. Like, what's up with Dirk Blood Brother, though? Oh, boy. Like, I ain't even, like, this shit crazy. Act be speaking facts.
Dirk got locked up. They ain't miss a beat. They said, oh, that's a Chicago real nigga that's spitting, that's making hot music that we could all get our cosigns from. He's kind of like one of the hottest in the streets right now. Yo, delete Dirk number. Herbo, come on in, brother. Come on in. It's been a long time. Come on in, gang. Come on in. Come on in. Chat, when they clip this up tomorrow, and make sure y'all clip this part. When they clip this up tomorrow, they gonna act like, yo, here go this bitch ass nigga act instigate. They gonna blame it on me. Watch and learn.
Man, act a fool, man.
But Herbo, I hope you're realizing you was never this cool 2 years ago. 4 years ago. All the cool niggas realize Dirk is out the pain. You're the replacement. You know when somebody go down for injury? Oh, they got a groin injury, an ACL. Well, ACL I think is a year. You're tapped into the game now. Okay. And I don't want none of the rappers to be like, man, why act saying that? That's not true. I'll be the bad guy, just blame it on me. But I'm saying the quiet part out loud. The funny part about it, all the rappers who I seen that was mad buddy, chummy with Dirk, they're now buddy, chummy with Herbo. And I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe they just like Chicago niggas. Or maybe they're just saying, that nigga's on the injured reserve. This is a replacement, man. There we go. So Dirk is in solitary confinement, fighting for his mental sanity. The only person checking him is probably his wife, India. I don't know if the other baby mamas could bring kids. Well, they said no visitation. He's probably having a lot of self-reflection, man. All the niggas he gave verses to, he popped bottles for, he stood up for, he stood on business,
man,
principle.
Facts.
They're out of here. They're out of here. The saddest part, and this is why, honestly, this is what I think 21 Savage meant when he said the streets, like, he said, fuck the streets.
What do you mean?
Because
Hold on.
Niggas, because of Dirk, when Dirk was free and Dirk was hot and they wanted to get next to Dirk and this and third, they were basically on that, man, fuck YB shit.
Yeah.
Man, fuck that nigga YB. We was
Facts. Facts.
Dirk locked up, they're like, oh,
facts.
yeah, YB never did nothing to me. Their tune has just changed. It's crazy.
Facts. He is speaking facts, chat.
I'm gonna keep it a being with you. After I've seen how the industry moves, the street niggas in the industry, I see why niggas tell. The fuck are you gonna sit in? Yo, imagine Gunna sitting in jail for this fake ass industry right here. Niggas forget you as long as you can't help them make a hit song. Here's the thing about even the Gunna thing. You think niggas would give a fuck about Gunna if he wasn't popping right now? Pretty much one of the most popular. No.
Facts.
If you locked up with him, fuck him.
Yep. Facts.
It is what it is.
Facts, chat. That's facts.
That's not the only thing. They've pushed back the trial, supposedly. Or there was an order, let's go to Dirk all day. There's a motion to push back the trial. Here we go. Is it Dirk and his lawyers? Okay. So apparently Dirk was in general population and he was put in the SHU. The SHU is a special housing unit since August. And, you know, he's been there without proper process. Okay? You can read a little bit of this. He's been confined to a segregated housing unit. Okay? At the MDC. He's in a very small jail cell, large enough for a single bed, a toilet, and a sink. for 23 hours a day, doesn't have access to commissary, is permitted to one phone call a month, and no in-person social visits. The original cause of the shoe placement was an allegation that he was in possession of a Apple Watch. Since the 29th, he's not received the process that is prescribed by law, where an inmate is accused of an infraction, will ordinarily review the incident within 5 working days after its issue, and they'll make a decision regarding an improper disposition and a sanction. His defense team has received conflicting explanations for his extended shoe detention without process. For example, in October, an attorney...
Not no beer, chat. I don't drink beer.
Mr. Banks' high profile and celebrity status is not the cause of his shoe detention. Then on December 22nd, the warden represented to us that his presence in the general population poses a threat to security and the orderly running of the institution due to the high profile nature of his pending criminal case and possible violations of BOP disciplinary program. This is despite his 11-month presence in general population prior to August 29th, without incident whatsoever caused by celebrity status or the high profile nature of his case. Additionally, NBC's attorney and the warden have told us that the official segregation review has been conducting a monthly segregation review. Oh, there's an official there. Okay. Segregation review official has been conducting a monthly segregation review where Mr. Banks has been present. Based on the information. Sorry. But I've gathered through weekly visits with Mr. Banks over the past 4 or 5 months, I believe this to be false. Based on my observation from monitoring of the situation, the first time Mr. Banks has been offered the opportunity to be present at a segregation review was just last week, after I sent the warden and MDC attorney a discovery regarding, or request regarding these alleged monthly meetings. In response to our inquiries, the government has provided us with an internally inconsistent explanation for his extended shoe detention. On the one hand, the government tells us that Mr. Banks' continued placements in the shoe is not based on the FBI investigation regarding the Apple Watch. On the other hand, the government tells us that the BOP is waiting to institute disciplinary proceedings regarding or related to the Apple Watches based on our charging decision. All right. Don't want to read everything here. But it says, Mr. Banks' defense team has a growing concern that his prolonged solitary confinement may implicate the 8th Amendment prohibition on cruel and unusual punishment. I believe a brief status hearing is necessary to ensure that Mr. Banks does not continue to languish in a shoe without process he has been owed for the last 131 days. The government is informing that it takes no position on this request for a status hearing, and they made a declaration. We're going to see what happens with that. Interested. Now, I don't think that even if they have a hearing, whether it's tomorrow or whenever, I think what's going to happen is that the judge is going to call for the Department of
Justice.
The Bureau of Prisons to kind of give their answers to the things that could help them make the determination. That's going to probably take weeks, not just one hearing. However, there is more information happening. So there is an idea. One second. They've offered to push the case back, or they're proposed to. The government has. Ranger, I think, for 5. Dee, Boogie, and Brown Eyes, they're in agreement with the government's request that the trial be pushed back to May 4th. Dirk does not agree. So it says, plaintiff, United States, and the defendants, Dontrell Wilson, Didi, both individually and by through their counsel, and also David Brian Lindsay, and also Robert A. Jones. No, never mind. Asa Houston. They are in agreement that the trial could be pushed back to the 4th. Currently, the trial is set to be starting within this month. I think the judge will grant this, but it's interesting to note that defendant Banks, which is Dirk, does not join in the stipulation. Nonetheless, the stipulating parties agree that whatever, inclusive, constitutes a reasonable period of delay for the defendant who is joined for trial with the co-defendants, as to whom the time for trial has not run and no motion for severance has been granted. So they're saying that they're hoping the trial gets pushed, and it appears that it will, if you ask me.
I don't know. It might not, though.
Continuous. Here we go. So they're saying it's not going to violate the Speedy Trial Act, and they're saying even though Dirk does not agree, they feel like May is the right time. So I think it's going to get pushed to May. If you ask me. Okay. Now today,
you never know.
Dirk puts this up on a story, and I want to go to a story. And show you the message in full. He says, crazy how you gotta wait until it's dark out to see who's really with you. Wow. Now, I'll be honest, even when he posted this, I was surprised by the lack of industry niggas. Yo, Dirk was cool with all the cool people in the industry. I'm surprised they're not like super vocal about it. And the easy answer is, oh, they're trying to get cool with Youngboy, but I don't even think that's what it is. I'm starting to think that these niggas ain't never fuck with Dirk like that at all.
Man, say it again.
Remember this?
Who you depend on? If you need something, who can you bend on? Ask your is she really putting in the friend zone? Came from nothing, ate on nothing, had nothing to put my grits on. Run it up, I'm from the mud, I really watched the Flintstone. Fortnite, put the car down to get the skins on. Olympic shots to her tummy tuck to put her pants on. Cass came back on bro and mama, oh she lived long. Seen him cry 1,000 nights, I hope you know I feel for him. Long live, 40 years, home invasion, wrong crib. Can't even get a job, his criminal record like a long bill. Thinking he a pill pop animal, he took the wrong pill. Got his stomach pumped, the doctor told him that he gon' live. I'm talking to friends, I'm talking to family. It's insanity. Talking to the trench, talking to the trench, talking to the bro.
That's fucked up. That's so fucked up, chat.
Okay, anyway. Now, I think after he said that, all of his, friends are now speaking up for him. Pooh Shiesty, I believe, posted something. Pooh always supported him, though. Pooh really fucks with Dirk. You could tell. But, I thought he posted something. What the fuck? I thought he posted some shit. Oh, maybe not. What rappers actually posted something since then? Did Lil Baby post? Oh, is he on Instagram or no? Lil Baby? Yeah, this ain't no time to say free no criminal, man. This nigga's like, it's time for broccoli and rice. Oh, man. Did any rapper even post? Free this nigga? Wait, there had to be somebody that posted this shit. There gotta be. They said Drake posted something. Oh, Rollo posted something. Yeah, I think he posted on Twitter. See, he knows probably a little bit more what Dirk is going through because he was locked up in the feds. So he said, man, free Lil Durk, man. Free Lil Durk. Some people say Drake posted. Did Drake post something? I don't see a story. Who posted? J. Cole? You know damn well J. Cole ain't post a motherfucking thing. Ja Rule. Honestly though, I think like India DJ bands, his team has been kind of like suggesting in a very, low-key way, like, yo, these niggas forgot about Smirk, man. They really forgot about Smirk. Yeah, everybody kind of switched up on him.
They did. They definitely did.
Maybe it's not everyone switched up on Dirk. Maybe niggas is just saying, yo, bro, we just don't give a fuck. Like, it's not like we switched up, we fuck with you, but holla at us when you get free. Right? It's kind of sad.
Fucked up.
There are people going to his court hearings. Let's see how it's looking now.
He's filed a supplemental trial. So yeah, it's random to provide the court with additional information related to the motions the court will hear on January 7th. So it sounds like there's a hearing on January 7th in 5 days. As set forth in government's opposition, the related motions are based on the early preliminary disclosure of certain evidence the government intended to introduce at trial. The revised notice makes clear that the evidence described in section 1, quote-unquote, evidence related to OTF and Dirk Banks' rivalry with TB, quote-unquote, evidence establishing the relationship between co-conspirators and defendants' admissions related to the scheme, is direct evidence of and inextricably intertwined with the charge in the second superseding indictment. So they're pointing out this evidence is important because it goes directly to what the accusation is, what the charges are. And now the government starts to shit on Dirk's lawyers here. Defense counsel's arguments during the November 18th hearing crystallized the necessity of the disputed evidence. During oral argument on November 18th, counsel for defendant Banks underscored why government's proposed evidence is necessary to prove its case and rebut defendant's core arguments at trial, including that OTF is not a criminal enterprise, but the government's case is built on untrustworthy...
Now, remember we were talking about OTF Vani? OTF Vani, who's Kavan Grant, I've gotten some info on him. So let's go to BOP, which is Bureau of Prisons. You go to inmates and find the inmate. If you go to Kavan Grant, it says he's not in BOP custody. So, again, this is all a theory here. You know what someone told me? So there's a guy who's locked up, and I won't mention what particular facility, but the person who hit me up, he's actually locked up. I guess he got a phone in jail. He said, hey, one of Dirk's co-defendants just landed here. And he made mention that it was Kavan Vani. And I'm like, that's interesting. Now, I don't want to put any... thing that could be later, maybe not true, out there, but from what I hear, it is very frequent when they're trying to protect someone who is possibly cooperating they send them to different facilities that maybe the people they're cooperating against can't get to them. I don't know, but it says not in BOP custody. And I got simultaneously another person who's saying, oh yeah, that dude he's over here with us. And I looked at that jail, it doesn't show that that person's there. It's kind of interesting and odd.
Cooperating witnesses. Indeed, defense counsel rebuked one central witness as a documented liar, a manipulator, and fraud at the highest order. The government disagrees, and while the defense are free to make these arguments to the jury, they cannot be permitted to do so in a vacuum. As outlined in the government's opposition, the defense cannot credibly dispute that TB and his entourage were stalked for hours across LA, and that SR was brazenly murdered by 3 of the stalkers. Remember, TB is Quando Rondo. The disputed facts and crux of the trial will be who ordered and participated in the calculated murder, and why. The government's opposition explained that introducing evidence to establish the structure of OTF is necessary to show the relationship among the co-conspirators and defendant bank's leadership. So that's a very important sentence right there. Listen up. Obviously, the government wants to put evidence in this trial that shows the structure of OTF as, a gang. They're saying it's a gang that murdered people, pretty much, and put hits out on people, not just a record label. At some point, Dirk's lawyers obviously tried to fight that, but, I'm sure the judge is going to let that in. Not just over OTF's legitimate music enterprise, but critically, his knowledge of and involvement in OTF's violence. Consistent with the gang murder prosecutions across the country, the evidence to prove these facts will include the testimony of cooperating witnesses. So remember, there's some snitches afoot. People are cooperating. There's going to be witnesses testifying at trial, pointing fingers at people saying they did this, yes, they did that. Straight up. It's up to the jury if they believe these people. That's what it comes down to. But the defense's job is going to go up there and to make them look like they're lying and they're pieces of shit and they are just doing it in their own self-interest, trying to get out of jail or something. The government's proposed evidence, including defendant bank's text messages with OTF co-conspirators, threatening rivals, and recruiting conspirators to carry out those threats. It's critical to the government's proving its case and to refute defense claims, including that OTF was merely and solely a benevolent music enterprise. It sounds like the YSL trial all over again. YSL was not a gang. It was a record label. Remember.
Yeah, it sounds like the YSL trial, if the YSL trial was only about the death of Donovan Thomas, right? And this is the reason why I know people keep hearing feds, and obviously that makes us a little bit more like, oh, they got some shit. But in the death of Donovan Nut Thomas, I feel like they had more than Young Thug. Young Thug didn't get convicted. Well, then he wasn't even charged for that. But the other people charged with it wasn't convicted of his death. Remember they said Young Thug booked the car? Like supposedly the car that the shooters were in that did the killing on Donovan Nut Thomas, they said Young Thug had booked it. That never got him in trouble, and that never really went to a conviction. So I don't know. What did they have on Dirk like that? It's clearly like snitches, but.
Boys. The government's proposed evidence also provides critical cooperation with multiple cooperating witnesses who are anticipated to testify that defendant banks ordered the violence in LA, use intermediaries, including defendant Wilson, to recruit others to carry out the scheme, and promise reward for carrying out their murder. Holy fuck. Multiple cooperating witnesses saying Dirk did this. He hired his boys to go kill Quando Rondo in LA, but they killed Quando's cousin or whatever on accident. Crazy shit. Preventing these cooperating witnesses from testifying about OTF's connection to criminality would deprive the jury of information necessary to resolve the disputed facts in this case. For the channel, please hit subscribe. I appreciate the support. Back to the video, boys. Accordingly, the government's proposed evidence provides essential material context to show the co-conspirators' criminal relationship and corroborate the anticipated testimony. The conspirators acted at defendant banks and his trusted intermediaries' direction. From the onset of this case, the government has never alleged that OTF is purely a criminal enterprise. Rather, the government's position is that a subset of members, including defendants charged in this case, operated consistent with the street gang. What did I say? They're going to say it's a gang and shit. They're trying to put evidence of that, obviously. As the discovery shows, that during the relevant time, OTF operated both as a legitimate music enterprise with a group of members, including defendant Banks, Wilson, and Houston, who operated consistent with the street gang, seeking revenge and perpetuating violence on behalf of OTF. Citing United States v. Smith, a drug conspiracy case from 2002, the district court admitted that the evidence the defendant participated in a drug operation and purchased several kilograms of drugs from a leader. Evidence of prior criminal acts may be relevant in conspiracy cases to show background and development of the conspiracy. Prior criminal endeavors with the leader would help the government provide the background and development of the conspiracy. It would help explain why the leader trusted enough to include him in the risky scheme. Hold on, they're trying to show the jury prior criminal shit? Interesting. Contrary to counsel's claims, the evidence shows that defendant Banks and his close OTF associates, including the defense in this case, had rivalries, discussed violence against rivals, and took violent street action to settle scores with their rivals, including the LA murder. Defendants are alleged.
Okay, chat, and now that's the end of that. And you can like, comment, subscribe, and we're gonna keep getting high, mud. Y'all hit that sub button and ring that bell, and guess what? We gonna keep it real.